Today we're going to talk about the neurobiology of your post-traumatic stress disorder. We'll focus on several parts of your brain that we understand best. Here are the amygdala, the hippocampus, and the prefrontal cortex. And for this, I will need a brave volunteer. Wonderful. Come on up, Tony. The body includes an ancient stress response system. Tony, do you have any idea what that might be?
Yeah, the fight, flight, or freeze thing, right?
Precisely. Here, take a look at this marble machine. The body's fight, flight, or freeze stress response system is complicated, but I'll show you the most important stuff. Imagine that you've just confronted a life-threatening situation, which, shall we say, gets the marble moving. The response system kicks into high gear, and most often when the dangerous situation ends, the fight, flight, freeze response shuts off.
Ding.
But with PTSD, your stress response system doesn't know when to quit. Tony, would you be comfortable sharing what PTSD is like for you?
Well, I got back from Afghanistan about a year ago, but I'm still anxious or angry all the time. I don't sleep well. It's like I'm always on guard.
So when Tony, or any of you for that matter, experienced your trauma, the amygdala, your brain's threat detector, set the stress response system into motion. Your body released adrenaline and other stress hormones, giving you that surge of energy that helped you respond to the threat.
But my deployment was over a year ago.
Yes, that's where the hippocampus comes in. It converts short-term to long-term memory, and it helps you remember where and when danger happens so that you can avoid it in the future. With PTSD, something could remind you of that trauma, and your hippocampus wrongly assumes that you're in that situation again. That sends a signal to your amygdala that it's time to go, go, go. And this happens over and over again. Eventually, in more and more situations, you can't deal with things like you used to, and it's hard to feel good about anything.
So what can I do?
First, you need to know that your brain is flexible. It can adapt. Your brain's prefrontal cortex is responsible for thinking, planning, decision-making, and shutting down the stress response. When you have PTSD and your amygdala is firing so much, it's hard to put the brakes on. With practice, you can bring your prefrontal cortex and amygdala back into balance. Evidence-based talk therapies can teach your mind and body to more effectively cope with stress. Talk therapy can strengthen your prefrontal cortex to help you stop the stress response system from going into overdrive. Certain medications can help you manage PTSD symptoms too. You have options. The best thing to do is to talk with your provider about the best plan for you. Finally, check out the National Center for PTSD at www.ptsd.va.gov. They have so many resources for you: videos, brochures, mobile apps.
Thanks. I'll check it out.
If you feel you may be experiencing PTSD, talk with your healthcare provider. And be sure to go to the National Center at www.ptsd.va.gov today to learn more.